Okay, welcome once again to Philosophy Online Lecture. You see, we have a new background. I think this is cool. I think we need cool as this period. Okay. So we are still on medieval philosophy, and this philosopher we're looking at, Christian philosopher we're looking at for this audiovisual is Thomas Aquinas. Okay, so please do subscribe and turn on notification. Okay, so Thomas Aquinas was a prominent philosopher and theologian. He was famous for his works Summa Summa contra Gentiles, especially his Summa Theologica. Those are the names the works were called. Okay, so we'll be talking about his metaphysics, his argument for the existence of God. We are going to talk about his psychology and epistemology. We're going to talk about his ethics, and we're going to talk about his natural law. Okay, so we might not be doing all in this video. Okay, well, let's start with his metaphysics. Okay, Thomas Aquinas explained change in terms of the 10 categories put by Aristotle. Okay, Aristotle puts in 10 categories of change. Okay, one substance and nine accidental change, one substantial change and nine accidental change. Okay, now the substantial change are those changes that take place from one form to another. That is a change like when a person dies, the flesh change to dust, like a change from when you burn a paper, the paper change from the form of a paper to the form of ashes. Like you turn gari, it's changed from the form of gari to the form of eba. So that is what we call substantial change. Okay, so substantial change is that change that takes place, that change something from a form to another. Now the accidental changes are those changes that take place in a substance. Okay, it doesn't change a substance from one form to another, but it takes place in a substance, and there are occurring changes that take place in a substance, in their weight, their height, and so on. So for example, if you are dark and you start getting fair, or you are light complexion, but the sun starts making you darker, maybe lasso sun. Okay, so that is an accidental change. It is not a substantial change. You are not changing from one form to another. I hope you get it now. So there are nine accidental changes: quantity, quality, relation, place, time, position, state, action, uh, and passion. So those are the accidental changes that can take place in a substance. So moving further quickly, Aquinas held that matter and form are inseparable. That is, we cannot separate matter and form. And prime matter. When we say prime matter, we are talking about matter that is without form. So it said that matter is not determined, as it cannot, as it's okay, sorry. Matter is not determined, as it can always take a new form, like we said in substantial change. Okay, so matter is not determined, it is not fixed, because it can always take a new form. Okay, so uh, substantial form is what makes a thing the kind of thing it is, but it doesn't make a thing an individual thing. Okay, so what they make a thing an individual thing, it is uh, explained by Thomas Aquinas when he said individuation is prime matter in need of matter and form. Now let me calmly explain this. We said prime matter is pure material without form. Okay, so it is when matter and form comes together that makes an individual. Okay, so individuation is prime matter in need of matter and form. Okay, so for example, a human without form, that is, let's say a human without soul, is not a shey get, but a human with soul becomes a human being, she gets, and that is individuation. Okay, so I'm trying to explain it that we can easily get it. Okay, so he's saying that it is only finished being, that is material being, that has matter and form. There's some beings that do not have matter but have only form, just like angels. Like, that is the doctrine of alomorphism according to Aristotle. But Aquinas said that there are some being that has only form and not matter, uh, and those are angels. They could classify as finished being also because they are not God. Okay, but they are immaterial being. Do you get it? Okay, so it now said that angels fall between the gap of God and man. There is an hierarchy of being. Now, in that hierarchy of being, we have the inorganic being in the lowest. We have the sensory being on the lower scale, which are animals. We have the sensory being on the higher scale, which are human and the other rational beings. Okay, and then we have the highest being, which is God, and infinite being, pure acts. Now you see it on that screenshot attached. Now he's saying that in this gap of the hierarchy of being, there are angels. Originally, Aristotle and Averroes called this intelligence. If you listen to Avicenna in our video on Islamic philosopher, you see that he talked about 10 intelligence. Okay, but to suit Aquinas Christian faith, he didn't call them intelligence, he called them angels. Okay, so it is these angels that are filling the gap between God and man. Okay, so moving forward, Aquinas said that angels have different species, okay, from the finite being, because they do not consist of matter. You get? So angels are immaterial, so their own species is different from the finite beings. Okay, so moving forward, he also said that the essence and existence are similar in God. Okay, but on the creations, right? On the creations, existence is gotten from outside. That is, the existence of creation is getting from outside, but in God it is within. And the existence of creatures are not necessary. Like what we explain the contingent being, if you have listened to some of our previous videos. Okay, so finite being come and go, their existence is not necessary, and their essence does not imply their existence. Unlike God, his essence implies his existence. They are similar. Okay, so moving forward, uh we should note that the essence and existence in finite being, according to Aristotle, are not separable. That is, we can't separate them because one cannot exist without the other. You know, we said matter cannot exist without form. They are necessary to that being. Okay, but the existence of finite being is not internally generated. You know, unlike a God. Okay, so moving further, uh Aquinas also took from Aristotle's potency and act. And what does potency and act mean? Potency mean the possibility of something becoming another thing. Okay, act is that end goal of the changes in the process of potency. Okay, so something has a potential to change to another. So that another it changes to is act. That is that end goal. I hope you get it. Okay, so those are since Thomas Aquinas Metaphysics. Okay, so in the next video, we're going to be talking about his proof for the existence of God alongside man knowledge of God. Okay, so do subscribe and stay tuned. Thank you.